Hey there, what's up? It's Mike D from superguitarlicks.com, and in this video we're going to be learning quick licks number 14. So let me go ahead and play it for you, and then I'll tell you all about it and how to learn it. Here we go. Cool. So let's dive in a little bit. So this lick is played against the backing track called the 2/5 jam, and this has to do with actually some minor jazz or some light, I should say, light jazz concepts. The tempo of this song or this jam is at 125. And if you're not on superguitarlicks.com right now, you can go there and get access to the backing track for free and a whole bunch of other stuff. So let's talk about the 2/5 jam and what we're doing with this lick. So 2/5 is a very typical chord progression in jazz music, but it's not as in-depth and complex as a full jazz song or some more in-depth chord progressions that happen in jazz. And the reason why it's really good to learn and jam on is because you could use the same scale and play through it throughout the whole jam. What usually happens in jazz music is that you want to switch your scale and where the scale is rooted almost on every chord change. It becomes very complex. Rock guitar players and blues guitar players are used to saying, hey, we're in the key of A major or E minor. And then you just play an E minor pentatonic scale the whole time and you don't got to worry about anything. Jazz is tricky because it's not like that. However, this 2/5 jam is kind of like that. So you could just kind of keep playing in the same key and it works. The key signature of this jam is actually in the key of A major. However, what we're going to be doing is looking at the Dorian mode. And I'm not going to get too crazy into mode concepts right now, but it's very similar to a minor scale. Let's just say that. And if it's rooted on the B, that's what we're going to want to do. So if we play a Dorian scale, the only difference is that the Dorian scale has against the minor scale. So if you know a minor scale, okay, the Dorian has a raised sixth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's the regular minor. If I play Dorian, I just raise this note. Everything else is the same. But what I'm going to look to, though, for this lick is the two strings on the D and G string. The notes on the D and G string. Okay. So what I'm going to do, though, to set this lick up is I'm going to start with my first finger on the 7th fret of the G string. Okay. And what I'm going to do is hammer on and pull off on the 9th fret to the G string. Alright, then my pinky is going to stretch up to the 11th fret on the D string. So as you can see when I do this lick, my fingers are really kind of stretched over these frets, 7, 9, and 11. So that helps me get this really good. So I hammer on and pull off from 7 to 9. My pinky comes up to the 11th fret on the D string. Now I do 7th fret and I hammer on and pull off the 11th fret to the G string. Okay, and then I go to the 7th fret on the D string. Alright, so there's kind of two licks that happen. The first, and then the second. And then all I do is kind of repeat that and get it going. Alright, so that's the lick. It's nothing as complex as you might think. The tricky part about playing it, though, number one, you got to keep those fingers stretched. So bring your thumb low on the neck and keep your wrist around so that you can really get those fingers stretched out over the notes. Alright, this one might feel a little uncomfortable at first, but it's worth the effort. The right hand, it's super easy to coordinate this because there's a lot of hammer-ons and pull-offs. So I'm just using I'm using a downstroke, down, upstroke, then a downstroke, then a down, upstroke. So it's strict alternate picking, but because there's a lot of hammer-on and pull-offs, it's not as technical as you might think. The other thing that the right hand does is that I really utilize my thumb to mute the other strings I'm not wanting to ring out. So in other words, the A and E strings, which can cause a lot of extra noise, I'm keeping this thumb based on those two so it doesn't let them ring out. Okay, and there's your lick. So let's hear it against the backing track. Okay, as you can tell, the beat variation that I'm doing gets pretty quick. Even though the song's at 125, which isn't really slow for any matter. It sounds slower because of the groove, but it's actually pretty decent tempo. And then I'm playing, you know, pretty quick beat variation here and just keeping it steady. Like anything else, take it super slow. Use a metronome. It's all even notes, so your beat just stays steady. So if you want to start with quarter notes, work up to eighth notes, and then get all the way up to where you need to be. But every note's nice and clean. My first finger just stays planted on the 7th fret of the G string. It doesn't move, and then everything else happens around that. So there's the lick. Have fun with it. Be sure to share this video with your friends. Check out superguitarlicks.com for more free lessons, and we'll see you real soon. Later.